Hey, my beautiful bitches. It's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Fiona's Coffee Talks. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I love to start off every morning with a hot black cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. Mmm. Coffee with Kahlua, the best way to start off your morning. In my all-time favorite coffee mug, with the quote of the century by Oscar Wilde, life is too important to be taken seriously. So lighten up, guys. It all can't be that bad. So today's topic of conversation is online dating. Oh my Lord, I don't even know where to start with that. So when I first got my computer in late 90s, 1997, 98, back then, America was on America Online. Remember, that's how you would access the internet. You had to go through there. And that was the time of the famous chat rooms. And, you man for hot older man, or man for man, or depending on what your orientation is, they had for men, for women, gay, straight, this, that. But even back then, I always would think to myself, it's amazing what people's perceptions of what they look like and what they are actually are compared to the reality of what it is. Because, I'm all for having self-esteem, but if you're going to misrepresent yourself and lie, that just doesn't make any sense. Because guess what? When you go to meet the person, they're going to realize, who are you? Half the time they don't even look like what they look like. They send old pictures, and guys and girls will say, oh, well, my picture, the picture's a few years old, but I haven't changed. Here's the newsflash with that. That is true up to a certain age. If you're still like in your 20s, maybe 30, 5 years can go by, maybe you don't change a lot. But once you pass that age, 5 years, a lot, shit happens in 5 years, and suddenly you don't look like that. Or, imagine someone sends you a picture these days, a black and white picture. Well, honey, they haven't been black and white pictures for how long? Or like, in the late 90s when I first started with online dating, someone would send a picture and they were obviously wearing something from the 70s. So it's like, unless you're like retro is your style, this shit's 20 years old. So that's not a current picture. So again, people's perceptions are incredible. I remember one time I was chatting with someone, and this was even before that. This was phone line chatting, so I couldn't even see a picture. And he described himself as being 6'1", 185, blonde hair, blue eyes, in shape, good looking, and I was like, wow, sounds really hot. So I made the date to see him. First of all, 6'1", 185. Wait, before I even say that, he claimed he was 45 years old. So when he showed up, I thought to myself, 45? What, in dog years? Because I was like, bitch, you are old. He looked like the original grandfather from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, except not as pretty or young looking. And then he said 6'1", 185. I mean, this bitch was so short, he looked like Yoda, except not as tall or pretty. And then he said, in shape, yeah, I mean, I guess the pair is a shape. And good looking, I mean, define good. The only kind of truth was his eyes were blue, but he failed to mention bloodshot blue. And then blonde hair. I'm like, bitch, you don't even have hair. He was so old, he didn't even have eyebrows. He didn't even have a nose hair. But, again, people's perception of what they are is sometimes a little skewed. So God love people for having self-esteem, but don't lie, because you know what? Then you're just insulting my intelligence. And I would much rather you tell me this is what I look like, and show me a true picture, and because you never know. So anyway, and now of course in this day and age, it's no one's on AOL anymore. Well, I shouldn't say that, but the chat rooms of AOL, I don't even know if they exist anymore. Now we're talking about Anna for Adam, Manhunt, anything you can think of whatever your fetishes are. Ass Pig, Bear 411, and then of course now the apps Grindr and Scruff, which are very big. where it even tells you someone is 5 feet away or 100 feet away. Like now it's so crazy that you could even be on your phone and see that someone is like right there. Now, the only problem with that is I think people have lost all of their socialization skills. So it kills me when you go to a bar and you're at a bar, you have all these wonderful people around you, and all you see is people on their phones, and they're on Grindr and Scruff, and it's like, instead of like looking around to see who's around you, why don't you, at your phone, why don't you just look and see who's around you? Because you're like missing out on life. So I think, even without dating, people just walk around with their phones. You see that all the time, walking in the street, and people don't know how to walk and look at their phones at the same time. And as New Yorkers, we're always in a rush to get from point A to point B, and then some bitch is walking down the stairs at the subway looking at her phone. You just want to push her down the stairs and say, move it, I got to get somewhere. But, so the online dating now, it's still the same thing. People will give old pictures. Sometimes, you have good luck with it. I've had good luck with it, but, then sometimes you have these other stories where it's like, dude, really? And my favorite thing is when someone will talk about their cock size, if I can be frank, and say, oh, I'm huge, I'm 8-9 inches, and then they send you a picture. So what? You think I'm blind, bitch? That ain't 8 inches. You're lucky if it's 5. So again, the people's perception of what they have or what they look like is funny, because then when they actually send you a picture of what they claim to be, and you see that they're not, then what? Am I just going to overlook that? Are we just supposed to say, oh, okay, well, my vision must be off. Maybe I'm seeing things. I don't know. So anyway, online dating could be fun, is fun, and like anything in life, it comes with its ups and downs. People will misrepresent themselves, lie, and it's just easier not to. Just keep it real, say who you are, show me some current pictures, show everyone current pictures so that they know what they're getting into. And, I don't know, maybe they think, oh, well, if I'm going to hook up with someone, I'm just going to show up to their place, and maybe that person is going to be horny enough that they're going to say, well, maybe they don't exactly look like what they describe themselves to be, or like their picture, but I'm horny enough, so I'm going to do them. And I'm sure that happens a lot anyway, but still, it's the principle of the matter. So guys, take current pictures, be honest about what you are, not some outdated shit that's going to potentially make the situation awkward or funny. I try not to, so I'm constantly taking pictures, and because I am out there, trying to date, trying to have my fun and meet people, and who knows, maybe a husband. I am single, so for those of you who are watching, let me know what you think. So let's start this dialogue. Leave your comments, tell me your experiences on online dating. Is it fun? It is ultimately fun, I think, but I knock on wood, I've never had any like nightmare horror stories where, something was like that bad. Maybe that's not as perfect as you want it to be, but when all is said and done, I've always had good experiences with it. So that is the scoop on that. Guys, again, thank you for tuning in. Leave me your thoughts, your comments, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. And don't forget, subscribe, Fiona's Coffee Talks. Bye guys, love you.